I'm ready.
So it just takes.
What are you using? Just straight through Zoom? Have you got Zoom Extra?
Yeah, so I bought the subscription, and it means that I can there's just you just click, goes live, and then
so it says meeting is
now live now on my page. I'm going to turn it off.
There's a bit of internet stuff going on, but
yeah, so it's live now. Yeah, there's a bit of a delay when it gets to Facebook.
can you hear me properly? Because I'm seeing a little.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it's stopping and starting. It's okay.
You can. I tell you what. Don't. Okay. Oh, the actual Zoom is stopping and starting. Right.
It's all right now.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's just getting started. You just close that. Right. Yeah. So it's just going live to Facebook, and if you want to check comments and things, I've got my phone open, but we can just.
Welcome to Dr. Laura Nelson's Book Live.
I'm so happy to have my dear friend Manny here. So Manny is, well, do you want me to say, or yeah, I'll say something, because I don't think, I think your energy speaks for yourself, but I'm going to say it anyway, that Manny is a manifesting genius. He has an incredible, he has incredible powers, and many of these I'm still learning the extent of, and we'll be exploring them today, I'm sure. I do know he has an incredible power of focus and creating things from thoughts and ideas, and just incredible force, and full of wisdom and very interesting and new perspectives that we all need to listen to and receive, and then we can build on those to create new realities in all kinds of ways.
I was going to say everything is a reflection of yourself. So you will get the version of the live, which is a reflection of you. There'll be so many timelines of this live. So do not put me on a pedestal. We are all divine.
Thank you, Anu. And I want just everything you say is, and I'm hearing it now because we're going live, I feel the magnification of the energy, and I just know how much every, and I've noticed this before, but now, as I said, it's magnified for me. Every sentence you say is full of so many nuggets of wisdom, and just when you interject, it's just beautiful and so pertinent, and that is so important. Don't put anyone on a pedestal. And I also wanted to add, Manny is also a dear friend, and we have a bond that I would say is a unconditional love at its base. So everything is within that. So we dance around that and within it, and allow that, and we're getting bigger and better in our capacity to hold that unconditional bond. And Manny is loyal, he's dedicated, he's devoted, he has a passion like, wow, nothing else I've seen. He's just got so much passion for what he loves and what he believes in and what he knows to be right and true, which is good for the world. So very honored to have Manny here. And as he's rightly said, don't put us on pedestals. Very honored to have me here as well. I'm very honored to have myself.
Good. And we met at the Abraham Hicks Adriatic cruise in October.
We did.
Yeah, in the Mediterranean. And Laura struck out to me straight away with her sort of spearheading authenticity and like flair, and the way she was living her life. She stood out. And it was such a great cruise. I've just come back from a cruise in the Caribbean, but I still really enjoyed more so the Adriatic. I think the people and the connections we made were so real. and that's how we met.
Incredible. We did. And yeah, we met and we had quite an adventure, didn't we? I mean, so much has happened since then.
So much.
So we can't, I mean, maybe we'll touch into some of that, but it's just gone so fast. Things are accelerating, and yeah, likewise. Manny shines brightly, as you can see in his picture right now, just shining.
I've just literally come off a few days ago off a Abraham Hicks, my second cruise, and I would recommend like not letting abundance blocks or any sort of things block your way through to being your best self, what excites you the most, what's going to heal you or push you forward. I mean, you don't need healing. We are complete as we are, but sometimes to realize that we need to heal. It's a paradox.
That's a very interesting statement. Yes. Yeah, so what is healing?
We are complete, but sometimes we need to understand that, right? So we don't need to heal, but sometimes we need to heal to realize we don't need to heal. That's funny.
Isn't that funny? So this, yeah, I stopped calling it healing myself, I think a while ago, because it implies that there's something that needs healing. Exactly. And I tend to use the word integration, which is the integration of the different parts of us that conflict, and then as we accept and fully own those parts, meaning the different parts of us that have different needs and are going in different directions, and then when we fully feel into those and recognize those and give them time and attention and presence, and they come together, and then the charge disappears, and that the process of that is integration. And we're always integrating, and it never ends, because we're never nothingness. We're still in a human body, and we're always expanding. So when we're creating a new manifestation, new thing, then there's integration that is still happening. It's all happening. So
yeah, I think I prefer that term. And sometimes what needs integrating comes from the aspects of ourselves that are dark or that we're avoiding. And like dreams as well, we learn a lot from our dreams about things that need integrating. And last night I had a dream, and I had to wake up and I wrote it down, but I met the angel of death and the devil. It was really interesting. And yeah, so
death and the devil, right?
Yeah, I didn't know there were different entities, but
there's a reason you shared that, so I'm curious. Something there to
well, it's also to do with like well, it was to do with the twin flame situation that I have been experiencing, and it was the removal of that entity and energy, actually, but it was just the integration as well, like you mentioned, of the light and the dark sides of ourselves. Yeah, but I won't go much into that yet. We'll talk about other things, and then we can maybe come back to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to uncover there. I mean, we could go in all kinds of directions from that.
We need not. We can talk about like today.
You've dropped that bombshell now.
I've been having absolutely fascinating dreams. I've been writing a dream journal about all the things that I've been experiencing. Because I think today we're talking about it. Correct me if I'm wrong, is it about love and unconditional love?
We can talk about anything. There's no agenda. There's no rule. We can do anything. We can dance. We can.
Okay. So I'll tell you
right now, but you have a lovely smile, by the way. So like when I'm seeing you on camera, it's like, yeah, nice. So
the dream, I was with a little girl. I don't know who this little girl was. And she was sitting, she was like next to me, and she was kind of like scared a little bit. And I was like, don't worry about it. And then we meet the angel of death and the devil. And they're both like, where is your twin flame? And we're like, we don't know where he is. And they're trying to find him, because thus far, according to what has been seen and from like psychics, it's the energy, negative entities have been feeding off my twin and causing sort of certain behaviors, right? That's what I've been told. Anyway, so they're trying to find the twin, and they can't find my twin flame. And we probably should explain what a twin flame is as well. You might have a different perspective on
Yes, I have a very different perspective, but I guess we're going to integrate today, and we're going to come up with some kind of that's, I can feel that's, I guess I knew that was the purpose of it.
Okay.
That this will be an integration of this whole concepts and ideas that we have in our minds of what this means, and you know, the truth is there is only one truth, so we will come to a truth which is the integrated truth, which is the win-win
For everyone.
Objective truth. As objective as we could be at this precise moment of time, that is objective truth, because it's changing every moment. Wow, there is no truth apart from the truth of this moment, which is, and there's only the objective truth, and then there is the truth of the different parts that we integrate. I said that really fast, but you got it.
The subjective truth that turns into the integrated
Yes.
truth.
Wow, that's just incredible. I'm so excited about integration, because integration never ends, because every moment is a different truth, because we are never nothingness. We're never, otherwise we'd be not existing as humans. We are humans, so every moment there's a different win-win for the entire collective.
That's why I think it's really important to not be stuck in your ways also, because you might change what you think next year or tomorrow. So in
Next
this
moment, next moment,
exactly.
next moment, changing. So we're gonna integrate. This is my intention, because I really want to get this get on the same page, because this is going to make a lot of our lives a lot easier. I think there's a bit of a fight going on in the energetic collective about this, and it's, you know, then whenever there's a conflict, there's scarcity. So, and scarcity causes suffering. So let's release it if we can.
Okay.
So, do you want to hit us with your do you want to? Where would you like to start with this?
Well, shall I
Yeah.
finish off the dream story, and then I'll explain what my twin flames is, and soulmates, and karmics, and whatever else. So this is a love session, and then we can integrate after that. So
isn't everything about love?
Yes. Or the absence of love.
But even the absence of love is love.
Love is about love. Yeah, true.
But anyway, we're talking about, so there's an integration. So anyway, these are just labels, but labels are important also. And maybe, Manny, that's something that I have to learn from you about labels, because I am interested, and I tend to let labels go because they tend to, for me, separate things, but maybe I need to learn about labels. So
I think everything in each situation serves a purpose. And as long as we know it's just serving a purpose in that moment, and it can be, there's lots of paradoxes and ambiguity with it, and it can change. The same thing can be different. We're being very highbrow and philosophical here. So anyway, in the dream,
I just want to interject and say, yes, highbrow meaning what? That we're just speaking from the energy in this moment, and people may not understand every word. Yes, it's fine, because the people get from this what they need to get, and they watch what they need to watch. Some people dip in for just a few minutes and they receive a nugget that they understand and take away. Some people watch the whole thing and they understand most of it, or even all of it, and we can trust that everybody takes from it exactly what they need. So,
and we teach from where we're at as well, right? We teach from where we're at.
Yeah, we're teaching from where we're at right now, our subjective reality in this moment. And yes, we have a lot of still unintegrated parts, and part of the reason for talking is that we integrate during this space, and so we learn every moment. And if and I've let go of, maybe there is still resistance in me, that when I do do share things. So this is a long preamble to what you're going to say, but when I share things, then they're you know, people are not yet, everybody's not understanding everything, and I've got to let go of that and allow that to be. And my wish is that people will understand as much as they need to understand to feel satisfied, and that's what my intention is. But with everything, we're, you know, I'm learning, and we're all learning, and we're integrating, and there are lots of they're not really imperfections, they are simply
nuances, differences.
nuances of expansion as we get better. And so I guess I'm closing that gap a bit in me that is still worried about the fact that people may not be understanding every word, because we're talking at a level of, because we have an energetic link that is very much you know, we're going boom boom boom, but we couldn't not do that, because that's not who we are in this moment. We cannot. And so we are feeling the energy of the collective and the audience, and we are talking to that and with that, and what is coming out is perfect for this moment. So please don't, please just feel free in that.
Yeah, trust in it.
Trust that container, that this is it in this moment. That's what I do as I post on this page.
That's interesting, because I find like I change the way I speak according to the audience, because I'm not at my first step on this journey, like, not to like come across like better than anything, because obviously it's never done, it's always ongoing. I would say I was quite well deep into my journey of exploration and spirituality. So yeah, sometimes I have to like change, I find, and maybe that's something I should integrate and not have to do, right?
What do you mean specifically?
So like, I would like make things more simpler according to the level of the audience I'm with, or
right. Yes. Yeah. I think so too, and I need to do that too. But we can only do that. You see, shall I go into this? This is helpful. I can give you the reason why we're not doing that right now, and maybe it's going to help to close the gap. So there's a part of us, because of and there are many people with spiritual gifts, so we're not the only ones in the audience. There are many, in fact every individual has,
everyone has
gifts, every single human. So we're talking to every single human, and every human is aware, to whatever extent they're aware of of their spiritual gifts. And until we are so accepting of our spiritual gifts, me and you, Bani, in this case, we will still, a part of us still needs to prove what we know. So we still have to appear like this is why we cannot yet meet the audience in the way that we know we actually want to eventually, because the part of us is still not integrated and fully being seen and heard as spiritual master, because that is the gift in us. And the spiritual master part of the human has a voice which says, see me, hear me, show the world that I am valuable. And spiritual gifts have been diminished by human beliefs and prejudices for thousands of years. So that part has been very wounded. So it's coming up, it's rising up. But we're in the phase now where it's still, you know, I'm able to meet my audience in many ways now. I'm integrating this very fast. However, there are still many examples, videos, and my posts where I'm still, that part is still saying, I need to be heard. This is my gift. And I have to just go through it, because if it isn't heard, it will never be heard. And then I'll never be able to come down. And down, that's the wrong phrase. See, that's the part thinking it's superior to humanness. It's not superior. Come down is my,
but it could be energetic, like coming into, like
meeting the, so that's an example. I'm feeling embarrassment, I'm feeling the shame of, you know, the embarrassment of that part, which has now shown itself to think that that needs to come down. It's not about now I'm getting into a mix. You can help me, man. But
Well,
yeah,
it could be a dimensional. It could be like
process.
nothing is higher or lower, but it could be like a dimensional thing. So if you're in
Yes.
fifth dimension thinking, and you have to kind of it's ground it, almost like materialize it, or I would say embody it into the third dimension, like you kind of filter it into the physical, it becomes more materialistic. Does that make sense? It turns from energy to more material. And for that,
and that's equally valid, but it's and equally valuable. It's just different, and a different level of spiritual density. Is it though? There is, you know, in the end, we're all made of energy, so we're all equal particles. And
what you said was interesting. It's almost like if you see the divinity in another person, then you elevate them, right? But if you see them as foolish, then you put them down. And you could say the ascended masters like Jesus, Buddha, they would see the divine in the other and therefore be able to heal them, right? And if we come from that place, you don't even have to speak. You can be silent, but you just see the potential and the energy within the person, and that itself transcends the message.
Certainly does, yeah. And that is a fascinating conversation. We can have that at some point, because playing with another person's highest truth and playing with that energy and dancing together for win-win solutions and teaming up with you know, this feeds into the twin flame conversation, because as I said, I don't personally use that word, but playing with other energies of other humans, and at that level of, you know, you could say the twin flame dimension, we can do that with all humans. And so when we do that, you know, it's incredible. We're dancing, and
it's what Abraham Hicks would say, see through the eyes of source. When you see the individual through the eyes of source, you see their pure higher self, you could say. And therefore, that's a very good, like, I've been journaling recently. So I write down in my journal the divine aspect of the person I want to think about. And there have been studies where, like, teachers, for example, 2 teachers selected at random, told that they're the best teachers in the USA, for example. And then they're like, we're going to give you the best students from the USA, and you're going to help them pass this exam or whatever. And then they just randomly select any students, but they don't tell the teachers. But the teachers believe they're the best teachers in the country, and they believe they have the best students in the country. And then the way they project their learning and messaging to the students ensures that the students get the best grades. And these were just random teachers, random students. And it kind of, again, like, kind of amplifies the message that if you see through the eyes of source, or if you see the person through their highest self version, then you will get the highest result or outcome from that individual.
Yeah, because what we're seeing to go back to our previous revelation, we're seeing the objective truth of this moment, the win-win. So, which is, at any one moment, there's the highest truth for everyone concerned. And if we see that and align with that, then that is what will manifest in that moment. So if we see someone, we see their potential in that moment, the potential starts to manifest, because it's a win-win for everybody. And
to be in that state, you have to see yourself in your highest potential. And that might not be always the case, that you can consistently maintain that. And you might even want to play with other aspects of yourself and the individual, especially if you're working on integration.
Thanks. I'm receiving that. Yeah. Play with, that's part of the integration process. Exactly. So every moment there's a different objective truth. I'm going to keep calling it that for now. There's a different truth which is the highest good for everybody concerned. And yes, we play with it. I, meaning this human, plays with the form of the highest good. Yes, and I feel, I don't know if
But I
this
think
is
all
really
truths
advanced.
all truths contribute to the highest truth. Even the lowest truths, even though nothing's high or low, it's just judgment, helps with expansion and helps with contrast and understanding and learning, right?
Mm.
So there's nothing right or wrong or high or low.
No. There's only the objective, the win-win, which can, and as Abraham it says, there are a million different options for each moment or something, you know, multiple, and that's very difficult for the human mind to in fact, you know, I mean, I'm just used to, I suppose I've limited. Thank you for that, Manny, because now I'm getting an insight as a result of that, which is that so far I've always assumed that there's just one win-win for each moment, because that makes it very simple to feel for the win-win, and it gets complicated when it, and can you imagine, it's hard enough in itself to feel for the truth in every moment, and to just know what, you know, that's how we are in flow, where we're following the flow of the highest truth every moment, and we're guided by that. But what if we're able to go even further and consider that in each moment there are multiple options, and if we don't have to think about it, but what if we were able to just feel into where those different trajectories are going to go, and then make the decision? Obviously the decision gets made for us and we just feel into it and flow with it, but then we're actually then we're really creating at an advanced level. I don't know if this is making sense.
Yeah, and you can obviously change which option you take in each moment and jump also, so you don't have to stay in that, because you have all the options available to you. And it's like, you know, when you see your spirit guides or ascended masters, or if you've ever seen anyone who channels those guides, they always think everything's going perfectly well. And even when there's situations of conflict or I don't know, control, they see it as part of the interplay of the soul contracts of what is meant to be. Like there's nothing wrong with what is going on. It's absolutely
yeah,
going
that's good.
perfect.
Yeah. Absolutely, very well said. That's very, I mean, that's something we can really convey to the audience and emphasize that at any one moment, there is no right or wrong. So everyone's path is absolutely valid at this moment, because there is no right and wrong, and people have very different paths and perspectives and ways of approaching.
And you meet people at the level you're at. There's no high or low level. You can say at the point you're at, rather than a level, at the point you're at. And if the point you're at, you're not enjoying that interaction with those around you, change your compass point, or what do you want to call it, your location, whatever it is. Think of a map, like you change your location projection to the point where it serves you, and you have the power to do that.
Yeah, very true.
And if you believe in the power to do that, then you can literally shift, and it's almost like driving and then like, or flying, and you can like go from point to point, and you can just jump. And they say like highly evolved species in the galactic realms, the way they travel is not through speed, but it's through frequency. So they figure out each location in the universe has its own frequency point, and they can tap into that. They change their frequency to the point they want to go to, and then they go there. It's like they warp over, they just appear and disappear up here. And I guess that's the same with us. So say, for example, I've got a work situation, I'm not getting on with my boss, and it's really, you know, it's not serving me at that point. I can then change my perception, projection, whatever, to a point where I'm seeing the elevated version, or the version I want of that situation, and then meet my boss there and then experience that.
Yes. So what Manny is saying is, I'll paraphrase and correct me if this is not right, but this is what I'm hearing, that we have so much power in our, we could call it our free will, we could call it our ability to choose, which is something, a tool we have as humans. And one very powerful way to do that is in fact, I did a video on this a few days ago where I woke up in the morning and I'm sure you do this practice as well, Manny, where I wrote down some words about how I wanted to feel, and in a certain particular situation, I shifted my perception. I created an image of what I wanted this situation to be like, and then I felt into that. I felt what that would feel like, and I immediately shifted this situation for myself by changing my feelings about this situation. I started to feel much more peace and confidence that this was coming into my reality, because I was starting with my focus of how I wanted to feel. And I think that's what you're talking about. That
it's very important to
we use our ability to focus, and it's our perception of situations that leads to the experience of this situation. So when we change our perception of it and our feelings about it, we've changed the energy around that situation, and then that new energy attracts a new reality, and our new experience that we want starts to manifest, because we've already,
all those realities already exist. It's not about them being created in the moment. They're already there. You just jump to that point. Everything, a precursor to this is everything is a mirror. So whatever you're seeing is a reflection of what is going on within. So if you're not liking what's external, then change the internal perception, the focal point, and then you just literally shift to the other reality. It's not that a new reality has to be created. Sometimes that lag in time is your own resistance, but literally you can just change it in that instant and go to that other reality.
Wow, Manny's, as I said, a genius of this realm. So what Manny's just, that's incredible. Wow. Let me see if I can communicate that to myself and to the audience. So it's incredible. So it's much less work than we've been thinking it was, because what Manny is saying, well, we all know everything's energy. So we're made of particles, we're made of atoms, and our material world is made of atoms and particles, and these particles are dancing in space, and it's our perception of those particles that actually affect how that reality turns up and manifests into things. And what Manny is saying is, we're not actually creating the new. We're taught how to create your own reality using the power of focus. You may have heard this from spiritual teachers like Abraham Hicks and others. But actually, what Manny is saying is that everything's already created anyway. It's just in the energetic form, and it's simply there waiting to be perceived. In fact, Abraham Hicks does say that.
It's like jumping timelines.
So even the word create your own, even that phrase adds a layer of work, because everything's already created anyway. The solutions are all there, and we can choose which one we want by simply changing our perception. And when we're really masterful at this, we can do this instantly, and we can simply feel into different solutions. And as you've already alluded to, there are many different options, so we can play around with those options and just feel into different options and then make a choice.
It's timelines that you jump into. It's like railway tracks. Do you want to go on 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Because there's infinite ones of those available, and you just need to just go into that one. It doesn't have to be work. We make it work. Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? Yeah,
I love it, Manny. We're doing it right now, aren't we? Yeah. So
yeah. But I like, from my recent cruise, I just learned, because
yes, do share. It's really
like basically people sometimes it's intellectualizing, and we are intellectualizing for others, but we've experienced only once you've experienced something can you actually truly be a master of it in a way. But like, you could read about these things, you know, see the good in others or see the highest version of them and this and that and the other and all this. And until you actually do it and feel it and know it and see it, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't resonate. But yeah.
So tell me something. I'm going to interrupt because I know you're going to talk about the cruise.
No, I'm open to whatever. Yeah.
Actually, go on, just go on.
I didn't really say. I mean, I could. No, you go on.
Okay. I'm just playing with it. Yeah, maybe I'm taking this too far. Right. So, no, I do have a question. So it's a very good question, I think. So it's true as you say that the words don't teach, experiences teach, as you just said. So how do we teach in this conversation? In this conversation right now, we're talking about energy at a certain level that is of the level it is, and how do we best, so we're having this conversation and people are listening in, what is the win-win, but what is the win-win for everyone in terms of getting the best out of, they will get things out of it, but how people will.
We teach through the experience of our we teach through the example of our experience.
Yes.
And also we inspire what is possible, because we're kind of blurring the lines of what is restricted, you know.
Blah.
Yeah, the restrictions, they need to, where I'm going through a time with the age of Aquarius now, where there's so many timelines and they're all happening concurrently, and you can see them. The shifts are it's very quick and easy to shift right now. So we're just demonstrating the possibilities of it. We're loosening the reality, the rigid reality that some people might be stuck in, loosening that model of the world so that they can kind of shift.
I should say. Yeah. I just want to point out, because we did notice this before we came on, that our backgrounds are both blurred and we're wearing white. And we're both wearing white, which is a coincidence, synchronicity. But the blurred background is something I learned from Manny, and we could do it in the settings. So there's some significance in that, and maybe it's about what you just said, blurring the edges, blurring the.
Yeah, and focusing on what you want. Focusing. Being in focus, and then letting the rest just be fluid.
Yeah. What do we want right now? What do we want? What do we want? The most enjoyable experience. That's what we want. But what does that mean? Lots of things could be joyful. So what's the most joyful?
You know, I do enjoy intellectualizing and talking, especially to people like yourself who are on the same sort of journey of exploration, because it helps to loosen my model of the world and my rigid thinking, perhaps, in order to kind of like play more and explore more with energies. I like manipulating energies so that they serve my highest self, so I can get what I want and live how I want. And I had a conversation earlier with another Abrahamer today, because I'm thinking of going on a Greek island cruise, okay, this summer, and I've only got 8 days vacation, and I wanted an extra day, and I've been trying to toy with my manager to get this, and there's restriction, and I'm thinking, where am I mirroring that, projecting that, get to the version of where I can get what I want? And she was just like, you are Manny, you manifest, you can get what you want, like just go for it and do it. And then sometimes we have this sort of like fear, like, oh, what if I lose my job, or what if like it causes repercussions? But if you believe in the possibilities and you jump to those points where you know things will always work out, and you have that total belief, it doesn't matter. You just book it, you just do it. The things show up, the money shows up, the person arrives. If there's a romantic relationship and you want to meet them, and you believe it, and you know it's going to work out, or it will work out to your highest good. Even if it doesn't work out the way you planned, the lesson or whatever is going to come out of it will go there. But you can definitely get to a stage where it works out exactly how you envision it, when you have total belief and no resistance.
I love that. And that is such a, in fact, that it's yeah, that's what I truly feel that the way we're going with our manifestation skills is where I think maybe in the past it's been more general, certainly with myself, that, you know, just let go, and then whatever, you know, just let go and trust that whatever comes is the right thing, which is one way of living. But now we're getting, as you say, we're getting so skilled at manifesting that we're able to be very specific, even with timings and specific details, specific people, very important, because every human is unique and people are not replaceable and expendable. They are unique, and we can manifest specific situations, specific timings. Whereas before we've been taught, let go of the timing, it will come at its own pace, let it go. Now, you know, we're getting so skilled at it, we can actually manifest with much more precision. And that is so exciting. So exciting.
I think it's also moving away from that enslavement concept where we were all told to do as we're told, and then going into your divinity, where you realize that you are a creator of your reality, and then all versions exist. So not just accepting the best one for that point, because there'll be a best one for every point, and you can go into the point that is the best one that you want
at any one moment.
Yes.
Well, there's only ever one. Oh,
they all exist. That's the thing.
They
There's
all
not
exist.
one. They all exist all at once.
They all exist all at once.
Fully formed. I wouldn't even say it's energetic. I think once you move into that point, location point, it's fully formed. Because I don't know about you, but I've had like perceptions of my past life, and one of my lives, like sometimes I find the earth to be very slow in manifestations, and like in another life I used to be in, I used to say, you know, apple, here's an apple, and whatever I want, just instant manifestation. And here there has been that lag in time, but that's getting shorter and shorter, and you can start getting faster and faster.
It certainly is. It's and I'm looking back and I'm seeing exactly that's what I am training to do myself. Big operations, big operations. I say big, that involve many different components, many different people, and many different parts to come together. And I'm learning to, and I've had a couple of goes. I'll mention them. One was I was ready to go on the New Zealand cruise, which I think you went on, Manny, last year.
No, I wanted to, but I didn't.
Oh, you wanted to go, yeah. So we met at the Mediterranean cruise, and there was another cruise a few weeks later. I think it was about a month later, I think. And in that time, this was November last year, I started to experience for the first time in my life the speed at which this can happen, because every single day I knew where I wanted to be for the next cruise. I knew the components that I wanted to change. I knew how I wanted to be in interactions, how I wanted to be in the seminars, how I wanted those to go, how I wanted everything to happen. And so that was it. There were shifts in the physical reality. I also knew the emotional shifts that I needed to make to be that person, to manifest that physical reality. And so I got to work on the emotional manifestations, and sure enough, they started to accelerate because I had a time deadline, which was this cruise. They were going so fast. It was, and actually what happened the first time, because this was the first time it had happened like this at this speed, I actually got caught under the wave, so I got drowned almost at the last minute. You know, it just became like a tidal wave, and I went down under because I wasn't able to sustain it. I was doing so well, and then it all collapsed, and I actually didn't go on the cruise because I was so
fear
close.
or resistance.
There was nothing wrong, because but yes, you're right, because there was something wrong, because we can look at it like that. My skill was getting better, but I just wasn't skilled enough. And then there was another cruise just that you went on, and again, it was slightly different because I already knew that I probably wouldn't go. So, but I was ready to go. I was ready to manifest it the second time, but also I wasn't ready. But the next time, you know, it gets closer and closer each time. So that, and these are big operations.
I don't like I don't know if big
Yes.
comes as a resistance, okay? Because the thing is, we are huge. Our energy, our soul, our whatever you want to call it, is much bigger than all these things. It's like Abraham says, it's easy to manifest a castle as it is a button. It is all these cooperative components, you could say, but it's not big. It is just, it's fun. Get to that. I'm getting to that
That's
stage
a perception. Yes.
where it's playful. Like when you were saying what you were saying now, I was imagining myself like kind of like going through like a very small little gap, that's energy, and then
Feels heavy right
going
now.
into the reality that I want, but with fun, like dancing through the dimensions I want to.
I've made it heavy. Yeah, let's release that. You're right. And I just got eureka moment when you spoke, because I always, when Abraham says it's as easy as to manifest a castle as a button, my mind says no, it's not, because when you're manifesting a castle, you're manifesting staff, and you're manifesting furniture, and you're manifesting blah blah blah. But and I've made it this big operation. And actually what you're saying, Manny, is that actually it's not big, it's just the same as the button, but it's just got these components, but it doesn't make it more difficult.
If you zoom into a button with like a microscope,
yes,
very complex, wouldn't it? And then you think about the process.
Oh yeah,
around.
I love it.
If you go far out, it just looks like a little dot. And with a castle, you go out, it looks like a dot. But you come in, then you'll see all it depends on how much you zoom in.
Yeah, you just
overwhelm yourself.
That's incredible. Oh, no wonder I've been feeling it was so heavy, because I was still believing I had to somehow manage all these different components. And now you're right, it's the button is manifested in its entirety, and it's incredibly complex, and we didn't have to manage any of that. And
there's nothing that's bad or right or good or bad or you know, it happened, it didn't happen, it doesn't matter, because when we come from a place of it is play, the thing is, there'll be a version of us that would have got the castle. There would be a version of us that's only got the button. There'll be a version of us that went on the cruise here and didn't go on the cruise here, or this and that. There's versions of all of those already happening. So in some of those versions, you experience that. In some of those versions, you're not experiencing that. So it's not that you failed. It's just you created another fraction of yourself that has it, or has this, or has that, like the option. So play through all the options, because you already have all of them.
So, but only if it's fun to play with the options. Sometimes,
if you want to.
Sometimes a lot of resistance comes up, but then it's good to stay away. But once we're able to play with the options, yes, then as long as we're able to play with the options without it feeling like hard work, then yes.
I think realizing that there is a version of myself that has that, or there is a version of myself that it's already in existence and it's already manifest. It's already manifest, not manifested, it's already manifest. And then you just simply go into that version.
Yeah, you can see I'm still trying to, part of me is to, no, just let it go. I'll say it because I'll release it. I'm still trying to cling on to the fact that there's so many options. It means it's so heavy and hard.
And
no, let it go, Laura. Let it go. Let it go.
I think you're trying to mentally figure it out.
I am still. I don't need to.
Center.
Just somehow let this go. I really want. I manifested a failed attempt just so I could prove how hard it was to myself. Isn't that crazy? Like it's how now I'm a master because I've done this, it was so hard and I failed again and again, and I got it on the third attempt. And isn't that great? Because that's how we're taught we should do it. But what if we're able to manifest it just straight away? We don't actually need all these failed attempts.
And that's that version of you that supposedly failed, that timeline version. And there's a timeline version of you that succeeded in that manifestation. And if we see it as fun and playfulness and joy and interest and adventure, then we can just slip in and out, slip through the cracks, go here, go there.
This is incredibly exciting for our,
I think it's my cruise energy, like, you know, I've had a different level of elevation.
Oh yeah, but the cruise is such a brilliant place to practice this, because when we take this into our in human interactions, this is where it gets really fun, because humans are so fun to play with. And when we're taking this and we take the heaviness out of it, we let that go, and that's, in me, it's releasing already. Then we start to play on this level with other humans, and who are also aware, like you are, and you know, all humans, and it becomes just one big fun play, because we're just thinking there's, so, as you say, infinite options in every moment, and so many possibilities and so many people involved in these interactions, and we're all juggling around with the focus. And can you imagine, you know, we're going to find harmony with that. There's going to be harmony, because we're all when we're all in a place which we're coming to, where we manifest only harmonious experiences, then we're all manifesting harmony, which means that there is no conflict.
But
there's conflict, but within that harmony. So there's disharmony, harmony, of course, because they're different perspectives, but within the container of harmony. That's why we have to manifest harmony first, because otherwise we destroy ourselves.
Doesn't that already exist? Because even disharmony has a purpose. And in the bigger scale of things, as you zoom out, there's harmonious, there's disharmonious. And that all encompasses in wholeness. There's like, and another thing is, sometimes we can beat ourselves up and say, oh my God, I didn't get that job or that money or that this and that and the other. But if you let that go and realize there's a version of you that has that car, that has that relation, that has that money, there's a version of you that's living that life, you know, so you should be happy for yourself. You know what? There's a version of Manny that has that. There's a version of Manny that has this or has that. Like, I have everything ever I want, everywhere. I have every experience. I have a disharmonious experience. I have a harmonious experience. And all that collectively is working together, because otherwise the whole universe would have exploded and we'd all be dead. So we are in not harmony, but we are in oneness, or whatever.
We are in unconditional love already. You're right. And we're also getting more. What's changing is that we're able to play at a high level, or a more intensive level. So we're able to come together and have discussions like these, whereas you know, a few months ago this would have been impossible for me to do. I wasn't strong enough in my capacity. So we are expanding. This is my perception right now. Maybe
I saw this happening for you. I did say, I think I did say, I'm sure I said.
What did you see specifically?
Well, I saw you doing coaching one-to-one and in group settings, but also doing workshops and online stuff, social media stuff. Yes.
Well, thank you for contributing to the focus. I receive and appreciate it.
Good. But yeah, I think we've covered quite a lot of ground. Is there any like concluding remarks? Or I want to say that you never get it wrong, it's never done, and it's always working out, and everything and anything is possible, and you have everything and anything already. A version of you has it. A version of you has experienced every single thing already ever to exist. So why ever be down about it when you already have had everything?
That's such, I love the way you said that, so clear. And I'm sure people can hear that really, really clearly and strongly. Thank you. And I would add to that, I mean, that's beautifully said. And it for me, it's just cleared up a lot of resistance about the whole thing, the whole process. You know, it's just fun. It's just, I think I was adding unnecessary work where there isn't. It's fun, it's easy, it's already created, it's already there, as Manny says. And now it's there to be played with, and we can have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with it. So I'm feeling a lot lighter. A lot was shifted in me. You know, maybe
Wow, you're gonna have a great time. What are you doing in Australia then? And then you're coming back?
This is very exciting. So I'm attending a business seminar for 3 days. That's going to be incredible, an incredible adventure, because what I'm going to be integrating with, what I'm going to be embracing are our core business principles at the I would say the highest level of the highest level of truth. So how business operates is, what's a business? It's people, human beings interacting with each other. It's human beings being of value to each other, receiving value, giving value. Which is what I'm doing all the time in my human interaction. So it's an extension of that. It's expanding and increasing my capacity to be a channel and a vessel for that value in me, and to allow that value to be expressed to others. And there's a lot. I feel I'm at exactly the right point to receive pointers about that will spark from me new perspectives and new insights and new clarity and new completely, new. I'm ready for, I'm ready for a lot of breakthroughs in a lot of things. So I have an open mind, and I'm going in to be curious, to be challenged in a fun way, to play. And this conversation has been amazing as a precursor to that, because now it's feeling much lighter, because it's all fun. All the options are already there, so I can have these kinds of conversations.
And you deserve. This is a big one. You deserve them also. Deservability. So hopefully, when you return, you'll have some new insights, and you'll have him back on your channel. If you want to follow me, I'm sure you'll tag me, but you can follow me on social media, My Spiritual Soul. Yeah.
Yes, do yes, and we can put the link in the text as well. And thank you so much, Manny, for your generosity and wonderful wisdom and your time.
Great time.
Brilliant. It's been brilliant, and
better than we could imagine.
Yes, and it just gets better and better. And we've been through a big journey on this, and I say big in a fun way. When I say big, I mean exciting. Yes,
expansive journey. It really opened us up, actually. Yeah, and it will get even more. I can't wait.
Yeah,
it's exciting. Well, any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and we can reply to them afterwards.
Yeah, feel free to ask anything. Maybe I should have just checked before.
I hope everybody enjoyed today's session, which ended up becoming more about like manifestations, right? And abundance and
ask anything.
Possibility.
I'm just looking at the comments. Yeah. Yes. It just gets complicated when I start listening to the listening. Right. Okay.
Yes. So leave the comments below, and we'll reply to them in the Facebook messages. Yes. And thank you very much, Laura. Have a safe journey. And I look forward to being reunited on your return.
Yes. Thank you, Manny. we'll be in touch in between anyway. But yeah,
Take care. Bye.
bye bye.